Welcome to today's lesson. We will be looking at the for loop uh, today. Looping is a very important aspect of computer programming because computers are very good at doing tasks repetitively. So if you have one task, you want it to do it multiple times. That is the importance of programming. So let me comment out this line for now. So assuming, so let's see what the for loop does. Assuming we have a list, for example, let's call it names, to print a message for each of them, individual messages, everybody that is in this list. So we could say, we want to say print hello, and then we'll say Ali, print hello Ali, all right? And we want to do that for the 5 names in the list. So one way of doing this will be, let me just copy this, just to make it easier, is to paste this. So, and just edit the names here. And then, so let's say after printing this, you'll have a and Sarah. So you see, this looks very, so maybe at the end, I'll say print, thank you. So if you run this, so you can see you have you printed hello Ali, hello Mike, hello Mary, hello Jay, hello Sarah, thank you. So this is quite a very efficient and inefficient way of doing this. But if this list increases, maybe you have up to 100 names, it will not be easy typing, not how long it took to type that. So an easier way to do this is to use a loop with iteration. So the loop will go through the whole list one by one, taking the names and then printing that. So we could use what is known as a for loop, for. So I'll just delete this for now, and then we will now insert our for loop. So what happens here is that we'll now use a variable. I will say for, so a variable, let's say n. You can use any variable. It's called the iteration variable for the loop. So for n, and then I use this statement in, and then what is the name of our list? Names. So a variable, we are assigning each of them n Ali, n Mike, n is equal to J, n is equal to Mary, like that. So we assign these names to this variable n. So, and then we put a colon, just as we saw with the if else statement. Then if we press enter, we'll have an indentation. So PyCharm does that for us, user indentation. So I'll say print, then hello, and then n. So what are we saying here? We're saying that let assign each value here in the list, each item in the list should be assigned to this variable, and then it will run and print hello and that variable. I should do that for each of the items. So if you run this now, you should get the same. So you see it's printed here, hello Ali, hello Mike, hello Mary, hello Jay, hello Mary, hello Sarah, and then thank you. So if you see what happens here is that this for loop with the semicolon and this indentation is part of the loop. So after it executes everything here, all the names in the list having executed, then the loop ends. And then that's when this one will be printed. The thank you will come next because it's not part of the loop. If we mistakenly, let's say we mistakenly indented this one as well, what happens is that when it will be print, thank you will be printed each time the loop runs. So you see here, hello Ali, thank you. Hello Mike, thank you. Hello Jay, thank you. Hello everything. So, but that's not, well, you could do that if that's what you wanted, because you have multiple lines under the for loop. But then in our own situation, that's what we after. We wanted to print hello, you do the greeting for each of them first, and then at the end of this, everybody, then you say thank you. It's possible also to have multiple for loops within a for loop, but that will be for another class. So that's very good. So we could also use a list of numbers, for example. So I will just paste that. Assuming we have, instead of these names, maybe I'll just comment this out. And then let's have this list of numbers. So we have a list here of numbers. So numbers 1 to 10. So I could say so you can use any variable we like. So I can say x, that's my iteration variable. So for x in numbers, then print x. So what I'm saying is that assign each of these values to x and then print them one by one and run the loop. So if we run this, what do we have? So you see it run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it ran all of them one by one. So this is much better. You see, just maybe like 3 lines of code to print this. If we were doing it manually, I showed you earlier, which was a very inefficient way. We'll have to write this print 10 times. But that's why computers come in. They could do this task for us continuously. Now let me introduce another, for numbers, another way to make this easier. Let's say we have, instead of writing the whole list, we could use what is known as the range function, range. So we could say range is a function in Python. So if you put the range, you can put the start and the stop and an increment if you want. But let's look at the start and the stop. So if you say from 1, you're starting from 1 up to 10, for example. So what is going to happen here is that it's going to give you a range from 1 to 10, but not including 10. So from 1 to 9. So if you wanted to have 10, we'll make it 11. But let me show you what it means first before we do that. So if we print this now, it gave you a range from 1 to 10, but not including 10. So it made it up to 9. So if you wanted to have 10 as well, so we make it 11. So it's now, if you print it out now, it goes from 1 to 10. So that's important of the range function. You could have an interval, because at the moment now the interval between from 1 to 10 is 1, but you can change this. You can make it 2. So if you add this extra argument here, you're just saying that we want a range from 1 to 10 at the interval of 2. So basically maybe the odd numbers. So if you run this now, you're going to have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and that's it. So it jumps 2 numbers at a time. You can change this to anything you want. So this is just introducing what the range function does. So this is the for loop. The for loop, you can use it for many things, writing for programs, and then this is main iteration method we use. There's another one called the while loop, which we'll look at in the next video. If there are any questions, you could please leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. And please go to the blog as well and see some of these exercises. Thank you.